Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Giant Conversation. This topic talks. I'm your host, Aaron Klingsmith, and today we have a lot to talk about. So something that's happened locally around here is there was a man whose dog sat by his side for 20 hours while he was out in the snow. There's also going to talk about college students that dressed up like princesses to visit sick kids, Nintendo switching video game consoles, Samsung foldable phones. We're going to talk about wearable sensors. We're going to talk about Star Wars, movies in 2017, celebrities' real names, and How I Met Your Mother. All right here on Topic Talks. Welcome to Topic Talks, where we talk about the topics you care about and leave out the ones you don't.
We talk about what most news sources don't: media, movies, and the multiverse.
We even invite guests to come talk topics with us.
Come join in on the fun.
Let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again. I'm Aaron Klingsmith, your host of Topic Talks, here with my friend Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
And today we've got a lot to talk about. First, I'm going to recap. How was your weekend? Or your little break? We've had kind of a big break going on.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy over the past couple weeks, with the holidays and then the new year. And, I just got done doing my first paid gig. I was working as a production assistant for the North American International Auto Show this previous week. Basically, companies from all over the world, the big head names and all that come to Detroit, and they're there for the unveiling of a ton of new models for big car companies. I mean, we saw like the head for Mercedes there. We saw like Nissan and BMW.
Yeah, some of the guys from the radio station were there too.
Yeah, I saw some radio stations there. And
you probably saw an 96.3 WDVD.
I think I did.
Yeah, I know you did because, well, I know that they were there because I follow the head guy on Facebook, and he, I just kind of follow what he does, and it'll pop up, and a couple of the guys, and it was them like riding some of the stuff at the auto show, and they were screwing with some people, and they're screwing with their one of the other radio stations that's owned by the same company, WJR, so they were screwing with them. They had a blast.
It sounds like it. Yeah, it was really cool. I got to see a lot of new cars. I found out what car I want to get when it comes down to my midlife crisis, but I don't know if I'll be able to have it. I have some pictures. Check this out. I'm actually wearing the shirt that I got there.
Nice.
Yep.
That looks really cool.
Thank you very much. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was my first paid gig. And quite honestly, as far as the first paid gig, this was like the golden nugget dream gig. I could not imagine landing.
I like how
better.
you use the phrase to describe it. Golden nugget.
Golden nugget dream gig. Like, I could not imagine something that I would rather have as my first paid gig. So it was absolutely the time of my life. I had so much fun. And now I'm back on my grind and moving towards the next goal. So, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to still be here too as well. So it's going to be a heck of a ride, but I'm enjoying every step of the way.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I've had kind of a crazy week myself. I've been back. I did the show last week, and what else did I do? I've been so busy. I've done work, but just this past weekend, I literally just got back, like a couple days ago, or actually, I just got back like a few hours ago. From the Flint Shrine Circus. It's something I do every year. I love to do it. The profits go to the Shriners Hospital, which there's a whole bunch all over, which is cool because my dad went to a Shriners Hospital when he was a kid. But it's also fun. There's also a lot of really great people that work there. I have a friend who got me into it. He is a Shriner, and I have a blast every year. Although, because I get to see that, because I'm working the circus, I get to see it like 15 times. So by the end, it's not really that magnificent. Mm-hmm. And every year when I go, the first day is always the worst. Like this year, because they'll do like a big light show at the beginning and all that.
Yeah.
And my friend Brandon and I are going, and since getting into the broadcasting business and working with my friend Brandon and doing his DJing stuff, I've become very critical of sound system and lights.
Yeah.
Really bad.
That's me, and like editing effects and all kinds of little touches that people put on different productions. I notice all that now.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because one of my friends, or so Brandon and I went to the circus. April comes with us every year, and we got there and we'll sit and we'll watch the first half of the show. Because what we do is there's these giant inflatable suits there's like an elephant. There's there's a couple that are named after a couple of the different clowns that have passed away, things like that. And so I get into the elephant every year, or I try to as much as I can, because it's kind of first come first serve. Whoever's down to the room and is able to get into the suit. But it's this giant inflatable suit. You've got this giant belt on. It's like a giant like Velcro belt, and you've got it's like an air pump on one side. It sucks air in from there's a little like vent hole in the back.
You inflate yourself to be a giant elephant.
Pretty much. There's this it's this giant suit. It zips up the back, so you got to tie your feet down to the feet of the elephant, and then you got this giant belt, and it's got a battery on one side and a pump on the other, and the pump has a little vent hole in the back of the suit.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
And it's heavy, and then you got like the shoulder strap, so you get into that, and it inflates to this giant elephant, and you get to go around, and the kids love it. That's one thing that I do have to say. Kids love, they they're like, what is that? That's so cool. And then there's the other kids that are afraid.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll admit, like, I was probably one of those kids. I grew up hating clowns. And
clowns are awesome.
Clowns are freaky.
Clowns are awesome.
I don't like clowns.
There's one named Chef that's really nice. He's pretty cool. There's one named A-U, like the letter A and U. So you go up and you go, A-U, and he'll go, A what? Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that's kind of clever. I don't know. I just...
let me put it this way. April doesn't like clowns, and she talks to half the clowns.
Yeah, I could understand that. But, I just... I tend to associate clowns with thrillers and horrors more than I do comedy and enjoyment.
And it's funny because it's one of those things that once you meet clowns, you realize that they're not really... Like, they are clowns. It's something they like to do, but they're just normal people.
Yeah.
They do normal things. Some of them are retired. Some of them, like Chef, he does, like, he clowns a lot. He does a lot of clowning. I don't think he does it, like, for money, but he does it in he's got a couple different personas. He's got, like, a officer and then a chef. But, I mean, just all the people that I get to meet. I mean, even the circus people. This year, the ringleader... He's the ringleader. He's got all these really nice shiny jackets.
Oh yeah.
His wife custom makes all of them.
Really?
They're really cool. His wife is also a dog trainer. She does a dog act.
Oh, that's cool.
And then his kids do. Have you ever seen that like globe where they ride the motorcycles in?
Yeah.
His kids do that. He has 2 boys and a girl, and they do that act.
All 3 of them?
Yep.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Lord have mercy.
They'll do 2 with their mom standing in the middle. Because their mom is part of their act. She's the one that kind of like she'll set the ring on fire because the ring goes on fire around the edges.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
So she'll do that, and she kind of is like the showgirl for that particular act. She'll open up the door and let the bikes in and out, and just kind of do all the stuff that needs to be done.
Oh my God.
So, but it's funny, and it's a really cool act. And there's one point when there's one of the sons and the daughter in there, and then she stands in the middle, and they're going around her, and she puts her hand out, and they give her high fives.
Huh.
And then there was, when they do just the 2 bikes with nobody in there, one of them will grab the other one's hand, and they'll play Thumb Wars.
Oh my God.
Like, it is really cool. So you get to meet all these, like, awesome people. You get to talk, like, have you ever seen America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Hey, did you see season 8?
No.
It had a group called the Chicago Boys in it.
No, I don't really watch it actively. I mean, every now and then, I might see somebody post something on Facebook like, holy crap, this person is amazing. And
Okay.
I saw this one guy who did his own, like, music video kind of thing. It was like a light show.
Yeah.
And,
well, this one,
nuts.
it was a group called the Chicago Boys. And how it originated is it was obviously in Chicago. There was this guy who owned this studio. It was like a gymnastics studio. And he decided, the reason he did it is to kind of keep the kids off the streets.
Right.
Well, they went on to America's Got Talent. They were season 8 semifinalists.
Really?
And I mean, these dudes are good. And so they went to the circus they were at they worked the circus a few years ago. They were one of the acts, and they came back this year. And last time they were here, they jumped that elephant costume I was telling you about.
Oh wow.
And I mean, the thing is tall. They cleared that thing. Well, one of the dudes this year jumped 3 of the different suits.
Dang.
We had the elephant. We had one called Junior, who just looks like a giant Shriner.
Right.
And then we had one of the clowns named Bongo.
Ha.
And he literally cleared all 3 of them with enough room where we probably could have done 4.
Dang.
So I mean,
That's pretty impressive.
You meet all these cool people. You know, sometimes they'll let you do little things. Like I was in one of the suits when they were jumping them.
Dang, really?
So you get to do I actually did that several times.
So you're actually like in the circus.
Yeah.
Wow.
For just around here, but it's one of those things when you get to know the people, they might let you do a little thing in their act or something like that, and it makes you
feel like you're a part of something.
Kind of. So all the guys are really nice. That's kind of what I spent my past couple days doing. I mean, I'll go there. I wake up in the morning, I get dressed, I go to the circus. Yep. I come back at night, I go to bed, I get up, and I go back to the circus. And I mean, I missed Thursday, which was the first show. They only had one show that day. Or no, they had 2 shows. I was only able to make it. No, I didn't make any shows on Thursday. Because I had to work all day. Friday they had 2 shows, and I could only make 1 because of my internship. And then Saturday and Sunday they had 3 shows apiece, and I was there for all 3. And then today they had 2 shows, and I was there for the first show, and in between, and the space in between the first and the second show.
Nice.
So yeah, so they've got a show going on right now. Actually, my friend just messaged me. He's here during intermission, because he wanted to stay and help out. And so I think it's something fun. The profit goes to a good thing. And
yeah, that's cool. That's a fun thing to be a part of. Just like for me, like doing the auto show was a fun thing to be a part of because I grew up with cars.
Right.
They even had like a life-size model of Lightning McQueen there too.
I saw that. I saw some pictures of that. That was pretty cool.
Yep, it was like for homage to like the new one coming out, which actually looks pretty decent. Because I went to go see Star Wars Rogue One and I saw a commercial for the new the trailer for the new Cars 3.
Did you?
And it actually looks decent. It looks a lot better than the second one, which honestly I don't really even have a lot of respect for the second one. Really, I only like the first Cars movie, and pretty much anything they made after that, I'm just like, didn't really even need it. But this third one that is actually looking pretty decent.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you always say that. Or you've at least been saying that for a few months. You've been, this one looks pretty decent. I don't like any of the other ones, but this one looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to go into movies with amazing expectations anymore. Because as you get older, you realize that the more you expect, the more you'll be disappointed with it.
It's kind of like concerts.
So
like I always have like
just go into a movie or a concert and expect it to be just meh. That way, it's easier for you to like be like, oh, this is actually pretty good. Like Suicide Squad got horrible reviews. Everybody hated it, so I expected it to be god awful. I went in and I thought it was okay because I thought it was gonna be so bad. But either way, so the new Cars looks okay. I'm not gonna say anything until I actually manage to see it.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, and me and Jenna just celebrated our 4-year anniversary the other day.
Really?
Yep, we went to Longhorns. I got a porterhouse for 2, which is like a 40-ounce porterhouse.
Nice.
It was very nice. Or it was a 30. I don't know. It was huge, though.
That's cool.
And then we went to Dave & Buster's. And that was fun. And then we just went to B-Dubs today for lunch, just because we wanted some B-Dubs.
Right.
But yeah, so it's been a busy week for me, apart from the auto show and getting back into the spin of things with Empower, and on top of that, work. I haven't even had time to go to TV Warren lately. I haven't seen TV Warren at all this year yet.
Really?
Yeah, I've been so busy with all my other stuff.
I thought they were the ones that was taking you to the auto show.
No. But TV Warren, it's one of those things where it's like, if I have some extra time, I'll call them up and see if there's anything that needs to be done,
See, mine is, they expect me there 2 days a week, every week.
That's how Empower is. Empower, there's actually like a set schedule.
Yeah.
TV Warren, it's more as come as I please, call them up, see if they need any work, and yeah. But I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do much with it, so, it is what it is. But either way, I'm still having a lot of fun. I'm pretty busy these days, if you haven't noticed. But I'm still, I'm doing everything the way I would want to be doing that. So that's something I can be proud to say of.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, so that's pretty much how my week's been.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's. I think we've both been pretty busy with everything.
It's that time, dude. It's like that time of the year, and it's that time of our lives where it's like your schedule is full,
My schedule's over full.
right?
Like right now, and you might need to remind me of this at the end of the show, but I need to like print off some request forms because I make copies of my work request forms.
Yeah.
I got to print off a couple and write some dates down for session meetings for my church because I haven't made. There was one of those that I missed.
Right. You see, for me, once I land an actual paid gig, like consistent, like for example, if Brent Powers or hires me on for Empower, which I'm pretty sure he will because I'm the only intern, and that's one of the main purposes
Oh,
for an intern.
is that literally actually a job?
Yeah, I'll be a producer.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so if I get hired on for that, I'm going to get cut down to weekends for Carrabba's. And then once I land something else, maybe if TVS decides to hire me on as a permanent instead of like a one-time thing, then that'd be 2 gigs, and I could just quit at Carrabba's.
So I'm kind of hoping I can pick up something soon. I just got a brand new piece of equipment. I know I do that a lot, but
It's good though.
it's making my microphone a little bit better. So now I'm up to where I need to be professionally and audio wise. So I started to started back up trying to do some voice work. So I'm hoping that'll get me a little bit somewhere. But
Nice, nice. That's stuff that you could like, use in like a portfolio too.
yep,
So that's cool. That's very cool.
yeah, that and my internship, and I get to talk to them, and they're actually one of the guys. They're some of the people that helped me pick this out because I'm like, well, here's the problem because these are the microphones. The microphone I have is what they use at the radio studio.
Right, right.
And so they were like, I was like, hey, what do I need? This is my problem. And they gave me the name of a piece of equipment. So I kind of been saving up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so close. I'm just going to take and I'm just gonna buy it on my credit card and pay it off.
There you go.
And so that's what I'm doing, but it's actually helped quite a bit.
Yeah, I gotta be careful with my spending. Literally, I managed to get my credit card under 1,000, and then the anniversary hit, and like.
You know what you do?
What?
Because this is what I did. You take and so like $50 every week automatically gets pulled out of my account the day I get paid, and paid to my credit card.
It's kind of what I have, except mine's a little different. I have every week my account takes $100 out of my checking account and puts it in my savings account. So there's that, and I also put $50 in out of every check, which is every 2 weeks. So basically, every 2 weeks I'm depositing $250. So each month it's $500.
See, I just do it every week right to my credit card.
There you go.
Because then okay, so 50 times, let's see, how many weeks are there in a month?
Roughly 4.5.
Okay. So that's what? 50, $200?
Something like that.
So that's $200 every week or every month that I'm paying on my credit card.
That's good. That's good. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Basically, I pay like $200 to $400 every month on my credit card. Try to get it down, but it's easy to use a credit card. It really is.
That's why I put mine in a section of my wallet that's really hard to get out of.
You see, I don't know, man. You see, it's.
But I'm also the whole point is like, okay, so I don't use it for daily stuff anymore.
That's good.
I don't like unless I'm at the end of my week and I'm on my way home from work and I need gas or something, or I haven't eaten all day and I'm coming home from work and I need just something small to tide me over until I get home, and I'm out of money for the week, like it's like the day before payday.
Yeah.
I might do something like that, but I don't. How I got in trouble is I was working this great job, making all this money. We got laid off for our layoff period. I kept spending the way I was spending. Just instead of using my debit card, I would use my credit card.
Right.
So I got it all set up so it's getting paid, and now it's just kind of like, okay, well, big stuff is going on it, but it's getting paid every, like it's $200 a month roughly, is getting paid out of my credit card.
There you go.
And, you know, if there's weeks where I get an awesome paycheck or I've got some money left over, I'll throw that onto my credit card and it'll
Exactly.
pay it off more.
There you go.
Now, there's this cool thing that my friend got at the circus. It's a little it's like a mini Segway.
Really?
Yes, it's made by Segway, and it's kind of like you know those little they've got them at like where I work at a little kiosk out in the mall. It's the little, like, they call them hoverboards, but I wouldn't consider it an actual hoverboard.
I know what you mean. They're those Spark scooters.
Okay, so it's like that, but bigger wheels, and it's got this thing that goes between your legs, like about to your knee level, and that's how you steer.
Really?
So you kind of lean to steer. You just lean that, or you push that thing left or right to steer. So you just lean it with your legs,
Okay.
and then you tilt your feet forward to go forward, backward to go backward. And there's lights on it that you can control with your phone. There's a little piece that comes.
So it's like a super one of those things.
It's a lot better though, and it doesn't catch fire.
That's true.
But it's Bluetooth enabled, so you can change the color of it with your phone.
You can probably play music on it.
No.
So some of those you can.
No, that one you can't. You can, but you can change the colors. You can control it. So like if you're not standing on it, you can sit there and control it and move it by yourself with your phone.
That's cool.
But it also senses when you're standing on it. So like, say I wanted to try to move it while I'm standing on it, or somebody like stole my phone and was trying to make it move. It won't move if I'm standing on it.
So it's like if your foot's on it, it's like, okay, I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Unless you like tilt your feet forward or backward, but it's really easy. Now, the thing is there's a 220 weight limit on it. So I want to get one of those, and what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to start on a diet here probably in the next day or so, and if I lose 50 pounds, I'm going to buy myself one. It's kind of like an incentive to get that, because that'll get me down to the minimum weight limit.
That'd be cool.
And then I'm going to keep going. But it's really cool, and he was zipping around, and it's really quiet is the cool part. Like, he would zip around and, like, come up behind people, nobody would even know he's there.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
So, anyway, I wanted to share that. But anyway, so why don't we get on to our first story? What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so the first one is something that's happened here in Michigan. And, I mean, it's kind of, it's not really good, but it's kind of amazing, and it's kind of not.
It's one of those things that's worth hearing about.
It is. It's very worth hearing about. So, you know those things that you go out, every day, you do the same thing. It's just monotonous.
Yeah, every day when I come home, like during the winter, we have this part where the sidewalk in front of my porch kind of descends a little bit, so it's lower than the rest of the ground, and water builds up there and freezes. Every time I go up to my porch, I feel like it's a normal task, but I feel like I'm going to slip and eat bricks.
Right. So, well, and a lot of people, like, you have your house heated with probably gas, right?
I think so, yeah.
Gas or either way. You've got a heating system in your house. Well, there's a lot of people, like my girlfriend's parents, who have to get their house heat from
like
fire.
Like a chimney.
Well, April's parents, it's like a shed out on the other side of their driveway, and it sends, that's where the fire's at, and then it sends it down. The heat goes, like, through this thing underneath the ground into their house.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like, pumps the hot air from the fire down. Anyway, but he's still got to go out and put wood in it. Well, there's this gentleman, his name's Bobby, 64, and every day he goes out and he puts some more wood in the fire. But one day it turned into a near-death experience.
Oh, that's gotta be fun. That's gotta be fun. I've had a near-death experience, and let me tell you, I don't recommend it.
I don't think people choose to have them. But what had happened was there was this guy, and he, like I said, every day he went out and he
would put fire.
He would put wood on the fire, and that would cause him to, so it was something he did every day. Well, this was on New Year's, and he went out to put some wood in the fire, and he slipped and broke his neck.
You know what? I bet you he was one of those people who was thinking that 2017 can't possibly be worse.
Ha ha. Ha ha. We got a funny man in here, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry about that. I know, a little dark, but
Anyway, so he slipped and fell, broke his neck. Well, here's where the story kind of takes a turn. Thankfully, he had his dog, Kelsey, with him, and right when he fell, she jumped into action, and she laid on him to keep him warm. And not only did she did that, like I guess he's got some claw marks on his arms because when he started to like pass out, she would claw at him to keep him awake.
People, this is another reason why dogs are just too good for us.
Hey, my dog goes crazy. Like if I'm sitting in the car with my German Shepherd, my girlfriend leaves the car, he goes crazy. Now, if she's sitting in the car and I leave the car, he still goes crazy. Like we have to be together all the time with him.
Yep.
That's his mentality.
That's kind of how my dog Lucky is. Basically, as soon as I get out of a car to go pick up a pizza or whatever we're doing, he'll like sit there at the door and like look at the window in my general direction and just whine until I come back. And I'm telling you, my dog is like a total whiner. He does not stop. He doesn't. He doesn't know what stop is. But yeah. But dogs are funny like that.
Dogs are awesome.
Mhm.
Anyway, so his dog Kelsey was, laying on him to keep him warm, and I guess she was licking his hands and stuff so that he wouldn't get frost. And the doctors think that's why he didn't get frostbite, was because she kept licking his hands and to keep him warm. So this I heard, and actually I remember hearing some guys talking about this while I was at the circus, and I'm like, what? And when I was looking up stories, I found it. I made sure to save it.
That's pretty amazing.
And his daughter Jenny said that he has marks on his arms from her pawing at him when he was losing consciousness. She also said that it was like she knew that he had to stay awake because if he fell asleep, he wouldn't wake up again. This all took place during New Year's. And he just went out in his slippers, his long johns, and a long sleeve shirt. I've ventured out in my slippers before, and it is a very dangerous task to do.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, my feet get cold, and I'm like, oh, mine's got rubber soles, it'll be fine. Your feet get cold either way. But so I mean, can you picture this? This man's laying out in the snow. He has a broken neck. He's got this dog that's trying to keep him awake, keep him warm, and licking him so he doesn't get frostbitten. And she kept barking too, to try to get somebody's attention. The only problem is, according to his daughter, this dog barked a lot.
Yeah.
So normally nobody would think think that something's wrong if she's barking.
Right.
Well, what had happened was his neighbor, Bob's neighbor, went out to collect some eggs from the chickens that Bob had, because Bob had some chickens, and they went out. He went over to his neighbor's. His neighbor went over to Bob's house to collect some eggs that Bob had told him he could have. And that's when the neighbor found him, called the 911. They rushed him to the hospital. He had to have some surgeries to kind of fix some things up. His neurosurgeon said he was very fortunate to have survived the circumstances, being in the cold weather and having a warm body sustain him for that period of time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to be able to live for that long. He was out there for 20 hours?
20 hours.
Oh, man, I can't even stand on the porch for 10 minutes.
His daughter Jenny also said that the dog Kelsey is so smart. We've always talked about how smart she is from the day we got her. She also said she goes everywhere with her dad. The sweetest thing, a little love bug. My dog is like my girlfriend's, because I had my friend staying here with me while we were going to the circus. It's something he does every year. He'll come over and stay, and that way all we got to do is get up and go.
Smart.
And and he kind of helps me out when he's here. He'll let the dogs out and things like that. So this morning he walked in, and my girlfriend and I didn't want to get up, and he opened up the door and called my dog.
Oh,
and
boy.
So I've got a giant. So Charlie's sleeping with us now, and I lost a good pair of headphones to it and a couple other things, but it seems to be working out okay. We're just trying to get him past this chewing phase. We put some bones in our room and things like that. But once he calms down, he's a giant cuddler, and I guess my girlfriend was cuddling him all night. He was like sleeping right next to her.
That's cute.
But she's like, "Where'd Charlie go?" She's like, I lost my cuddler. And I said, I think Brandon took him out.
Oh, that's funny.
But no, anyway, so dogs are always like they are love bugs. Anyway, so Bob's daughter also said that he's just ready to work as hard as he can to get back to Kelsey and his farm and the horses and he's always been a positive guy, which will help him in his recovery. Just overall, I like this story. I mean, it sucks that, it is a very unfortunate event that he had to slip and fall.
I
And
mean, breaking your neck, that'll ruin your whole week.
right. Well, yeah, and more. No, but it's a really nice story.
Yeah, no,
It really shows how smart dogs are.
It does, though.
I mean, and it's funny because there's a lot of people who've, when you die, your cats eat you. To keep you from dying.
Do you think your dog would protect you from being eaten if you died?
I hope so. I would like to think so.
I mean, Edison's just trying to get at you, but Charlie's like, nope.
See, Edison doesn't usually come upstairs unless Charlie's put away. So if Charlie's out, I think I'm safe.
True.
But either way, I'm dead, so what does it matter?
That's true.
Anyway, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns on this topic, you like it, didn't like it, let us know on our Topic Talks Facebook page. All the links are posted in the description below. Let's get moving on to our next topic. Our next topic is about a college student who dressed up like princesses to visit sick kids. Do you want to take this one, Mark?
Yeah, sure, I can. So basically, there are these college students who may not actually be Disney princesses, but sick children who they visit believe otherwise. A Moment in Magic is a nonprofit organization made up of 40 college student volunteers who dress up as famous female protagonists and raise the spirits of pediatric ward patients. Since they started in 2015, the group has visited over 5,000 children. Kylie McGrain got the idea for their project when she was watching Frozen as a sophomore on winter break with her family. She noticed that her and her friend Maggie McAndrew bore a striking resemblance to the movie's lead characters Anna and Elsa. That's when they figured they could fulfill their passion for helping people by impersonating the beloved Disney heroes. And my Chromebook's freezing up. 1 second. So either way, it's like these girls have been dressing up as Disney princesses and going to hospitals and dressing up as these princesses to bring up the spirits of children. So the foundation, since they're currently only based in the College of Mount St. Vincent in the Bronx, New York, is working on expanding the outreach work to other colleges and states, as well as recruiting more volunteers. Kylie and McGrain. Oh crap! What happened? Okay. 1 second. Kylie McGrain told parents that we've never said no to a visit, so anytime a parent or a patient or a hospital reaches out to us, we do whatever we can to make it happen, whether it's an in-person visit or a Skype visit. So to be adopted by other colleges and have other chapters is our dream, so that any kid anywhere in the country can experience an in-person visit from any Disney princess they ask, or if they ask. So these girls, it's a wonderful thing. It's a concept I've heard of before. Kind of like guys who dress up like superheroes, like Spider-Man or Batman or Superman to visit sick kids.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing, except it's with Disney princesses. And I thought this was kind of cool. Watching the movie, or not movie, but video, got me a little bit right in the feels. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Can you imagine, like, first of all, you're sick and you're in a hospital and you don't know what's gonna happen, and then out of nowhere, and some kind of movie that you really love, your idol just pops up out of nowhere and just like, hey, how's it going?
Right.
I heard you were in here, so I wanted to come check on you and see how you're doing.
That's awesome.
That would make my day. Like, if I was, in the hospital sick and somebody dressed up like Dean or Sam from Supernatural, I'd be like, oh!
See, and it's funny. It's kind of like Disney World's visiting you.
Right.
I mean, once you grow up, you find out most of the people at Disney World are college students and things like that.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you don't care. If they look like whoever you think they are, that's who they are.
Exactly. It's like, I saw this funny picture online recently. This guy went to Disney World and he was wearing a dead mouse shirt.
Oh.
And it had like the dead mouse head on there. And the guy was standing next to Minnie, and Minnie just like was pointing at the shirt with one hand and a hand in her face, and the other hand like she's crying. And I'm just like, I was laughing.
But see, it's funny because they'll play along with that. But when you're a kid, you think it's actually Mickey and Minnie Mouse. I mean, I've got a book of autographs from when I was younger at my grandma's. It's just a book. It's got a picture of Mickey and Minnie on it, and you go through. There's a video of me getting autographs and things like that. It's kind of like the circus.
Yeah.
You've got all these kids going around with you buy the programs, you open it up, and there's a page with all the clowns on it. And you go through and try to get as many signatures from as many clowns as you can the entire time you're there.
That's cool.
And it's one of those things, when you realize, like I said, you realize once you go there, they're normal people.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm sure they are. I just don't really care for all the makeup and the weird suits and all that stuff. Not really my thing. Just not me. Not my style, bro.
It's not your style, brah.
It's not my style, bro. Right. Anyways, but no, still it's cool. And, this is cool, I would love to see, like, my TV show or movie heroes, if I was in the hospital. I'd giggle like a little kid. Like, I'd be like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Cool.
Yeah, like, oh, it's only gnarly,
my god,
dude. But yeah, it would be awesome.
I think so too.
So anyways, I like this story, but either way, that being said, I think it's about time that we move on to our next segment. What do you think, Aaron?
I think it is time for Welcome to
the Multiverse. And with that brings us into our next segment, Mark's Multiverse. This week I got a couple different topics, spelled out here. So, mainly technology based this week, with 2017 being a new year. I like to look forward to a lot of the things we're going to be seeing this year. And the first one is going to be about Nintendo and this Nintendo Switch video game console that will be available in March. So the Nintendo company said Friday that its Nintendo Switch video game will sell for about 29,980 yen, which is translated to about $260 in the United States, starting March 3rd. The Kyoto-based maker of Super Mario and Pokemon games made the announcement in Tokyo. It said that the console will sell for $29.99 in North America. The company said customers would need to ask retailers in Europe for prices there. Anticipation has been growing ahead of the release of the Switch. Nintendo has shown players with a handheld whose remote controller section with buttons detaches from the left and right sides of the main part of the display. Players can play the device as a regular handheld, or place the display on the table, or use the screen on a TV set connecting by wireless. Nintendo will be hoping the Switch will buttress a turnaround after disappointing sales of the Wii U and the 3DS handheld. Personally, I didn't hear the 3DS was doing bad, but the Wii U was a disappointment overall. I know that, I heard. Though, I for one am actually excited about the Nintendo Switch. I'm contemplating getting it. My friend Reggie, who I work with, he works at GameStop, and he was telling me it and about it. And he's saying you should go pre-order because they're gonna be selling like hotcakes. And I'm looking at it, and first of all, I know you haven't had a chance to play Skyrim since I gave it to you, but it's gonna be on there, and it's gonna be amazing, and I cannot wait. Even though I've already played play Skyrim on the Xbox One, being able to play it anywhere I want is mesmerizing.
Is it mesmerizing?
It's mesmerizing. So I'm going to probably end up going down on a Nintendo Switch just so I can play Skyrim on the go. It sounds amazing.
Does it sound amazing?
Yeah, I mean, go on. You know me. I'm that guy who literally takes his DS everywhere with him. In my laptop case that I have with me right now where I carry my Chromebook, I have my DS and its charger.
Yeah, I know.
I am ready to game anywhere, but this would be like revolutionary. I'm kind of curious about the Nintendo Switch. I'm curious on what the future of DS is because of the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if they're going to incorporate it as that, now the Nintendo Switch is the handheld and it can also hook up to TV. So I'm like, so are they going to stop with entire consoles, or are they going to stop with entire handhelds, and are they just going to keep it on a hybrid console like that, or do you think that they're still going to do their dedicated systems?
I think I might go to the... What's it supposed to be hybrid of?
It's basically a hybrid between a stationary console and an on-the-go handheld.
Oh, you were talking about that the one day.
Yes, I was talking about that a couple weeks ago during the holidays.
You were about to say politics. Are you talking about like holidays and politics? Because those are the two things that should not.
No, I'm trying to say the Holocaust.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. No. Actually, not probably really something to be kid about. But anyways, no, the Nintendo Switch, it's good. Yeah, it's gonna be. I showed you the commercial for it.
You did. Yep. No, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it hooks up to your TV, and you play on a wireless remote, and then that wireless remote can slip off the buttons, and they slip onto the side of the screen and lift it up, and the screen is connected to the console port.
It's kind of like a tablet.
It's kind of like a tablet that you attach.
You pick it up. It's got a docking station that is connected to your TV.
Mm-hmm.
And the handheld is the console. It's pretty much the gaming console that you have. And you can sit there and you can play it on the go. It's got this thing that you can slip it in, and it's got controls for it, so you can take it wherever you're going. And I mean, in the commercial, it showed it mid-game. They pulled it off the receiver for the TV.
And went right to the screen.
Plugged it into this. It popped on the screen. They plugged it into this handheld gaming, the handheld controls.
And within less than a fraction of a second, it switched from the TV to the screen as if it wasn't even paused.
Right. And so then they started playing it handheld. Then they got to their friends, and their friends had one, and they plugged it in. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is going to be a good thing for Nintendo.
And like the Nintendo Wii U was really weird.
The Nintendo Wii U
because the Wii, when it came out, was really cool. You had these controllers that, if you wanted to bowl, you you actually went bowling. If you wanted to play tennis, you played tennis. That
was the Wii.
That's what I said. I was talking about the Wii.
The Wii U.
No, I know.
Was not so much.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I said when the Wii came out, the original Wii,
like the Wii
it
Sports
was awesome. Okay.
Wii
right.
Was great,
Wii Sports was great. So you got all these games. I mean, I've got a Wii upstairs, but you got all these games that are awesome. All these different things you can do. Then you get to the Nintendo Wii.
The Wii U.
Or the Wii U. That's what I meant. The Wii U, and I can't even really tell you what the difference is. I mean, the controller looks kind of bulky.
But here's the thing. It had two different kinds of controllers, I believe. There was a regular controller, and then there was the handheld controller, which actually had a screen on it. So, for example, you could take it, for example, if you're playing Smash Bros. With your friends and you had to go to the bathroom, you could take the controller in the bathroom, and you could still play it from the toilet.
See,
it's a bad example because it's people already use technology too much. But anyways, here's the thing though.
See, the cool part about this one is it's kind of like they upgraded the Wii U.
Exactly.
Because you still needed in the Nintendo Wii.
The Nintendo Switch is essentially what the Wii U should have been.
Right.
And I think they nailed this pretty well. I mean, it still remains to be seen. We won't know until it comes out. But I, for one, am probably going to buy into it because being able to play games on the go is really cool. And you know what? If they're factoring in games that aren't typically on the system, I don't think Skyrim was initially made for the Wii or the Wii U.
Right.
So, if they do that and make it so you can play it on the go, that might actually be kind of cool. I'd be looking forward to seeing that. Like I said, if I could play Skyrim on the go, that'd be awesome. If they made Grand Theft Auto for that'd be awesome. Can you imagine playing Grand Theft Auto on the go?
Not at all.
I could. It's glorious.
We were talking about last week about the Oculus.
The Oculus,
but we were talking about what was it? It was virtual reality, and then augmented reality.
Yes. Here's the thing: virtual reality. I think it has some promise, but I don't think it's going to go as far as augmented reality.
Well, here's what Justin and I determined last week. Okay, virtual reality is going to be more for gaming. Okay. I feel like one day we're gonna get the whole thing kind of like the Assassin's Creed, where you're in the middle of this. Yeah, you're kind of in the middle of this thing. You can walk and do whatever you want to. That's what I feel like virtual reality is gonna get
Believe
to.
It or not.
But let me finish.
Go ahead.
Augmented reality, I feel like is something we're gonna use on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be like our glasses we put on every morning. We walk around. If we want some, kind of like the Tony Stark. If we want to watch TV, we go like this and pull up a glass, or we just stare at a wall and there's a TV there. That's what I feel like augmented reality is going to be. Now, yes, they're probably going to make games for it, but I think that virtual reality and augmented reality are going to coexist.
Mm-hmm.
Because the augmented reality puts everything into if you and I are sitting here, there could be a ninja walking up behind you, and when I take it off, nothing could be happening.
It's basically the same concept as, for example, Pokemon on a Nintendo 3DS versus Pokemon Go.
Actually, it's like you could use Pokemon Go as a great example because it has a kind of the same concept as augmented reality. When you turn on that function to where if you see a Pokemon and you turn it on to where you're looking where you're standing and you see the Pokemon in real time.
That'd be cool.
That's what they have that on the app. You turn that on to where you can, He might be over there by that bush. So you take your phone and you point it over by the bush, and you see the Pokemon. But you can't see it with your. So I think they're going to make a set of glasses. They're going to be augmented reality that you could do things like play Pokemon Go. But you can also, if you need directions for GPS, you just, you go like this and you've automatically got directions. It can show you where to go. I think screens are going to be a thing of the past. I'm sitting here with 3 different screens. I feel like my laptop could be. May not even need my laptop. I could be sitting here with a keyboard, or not even a keyboard, just like half a keyboard, and just sit there typing. And there could be nothing on my desk.
That actually kind of ties into some of my other topics too, because first of all, one of my topics is going to be about folding screens. And another one, which is about a health band kind of deal. Have you ever seen? It was like a Facebook video. It was showing a little wristband, and you press a button on it, and it shines like a light on your arm at a certain angle, and it looks like a cell phone screen that's literally on your arm. That would be like another example of augmented reality. You could just project your phone's screen on any surface, whatever.
Phones would be obsolete. You wouldn't even need to have. You could just go like this. And there could be a phone screen. You hit dial and have a set of headphones on, and it'll dial have an earpiece in, and it'll dial whoever you want it to.
Exactly. So that'd be kind of cool. But either way, the screens are still going to be a little bit of a thing, I think, especially with this next story that I'm about to talk about, which is the Samsung foldable phone that could become a reality this year, actually. You guys remember when the Apple was, there was a rumor talking about the new Apple phone. I think it was like for the iPhone 6 or iPhone 5, where there was a rumor that you could bend it.
Yeah.
And like there was a whole bunch of people breaking their phones because they thought it could bend.
Yes.
Oh, good times. But
people are weird.
But you know what? Now this might actually end up being a reality. Samsung seems to have worked out the wrinkles on its much rumored foldable phone and could unveil such a handset later this year. The electronics giant is working on a phone with a flexible display that folds open into a 7-inch tablet. It is expected to ship more than 100,000 units during the third quarter. Sources described as familiar with the matter told the newspaper. Samsung had initially focused on the fold-in phone, but abandoned the plan out of concern that people would find it inconvenient to unfold the phone every time that they wanted to use it. Innovative designs could help spark a new wave of consumer spending on phones. Samsung has done well, for instance, with the Galaxy S7 Edge, which features a screen that wraps onto the side of the device. A clever trick, though it doesn't always pay off, something LG found out with the G5, with its G5, a phone with snap-on attachments. So really, I've seen a lot of those phones where the screen kind of curves around the edges.
Yeah.
I thought those were kind of cool. But at the same time, they also strike me as more fragile. But I'm sure they have precautions that make the glass stronger or something like that. But anyways, folding your device would give you a smaller, more portable package to carry around, and it could essentially double the size of your screen. But the design also presents technical hurdles, such as whether rigid parts like circuit boards will have to use a different internal configuration or be made to slightly bend as well. Samsung has had an interest in flexible phones for a couple years. A Samsung patent filing from 2015 showed design concepts for not only foldable smartphones, but also ones that can be rolled up like a scroll. Now imagine that. A phone that rolls up like a scroll. That's like... That strikes me as something kind of like alien.
It's weird.
That strikes me as like alien tech.
See, and here's my problem. Okay, right now my phone is one shape and it's going to stay that shape. I would lose that phone so fast because right now I feel for my phone and I can feel it. I'll be sitting in a chair and I'll go to reach for a phone and I'll be like, where'd my phone? I'll get up and I could be sitting on it and it just bend.
Imagine you could like roll up your phone like a scroll and then you just stuck it behind your ear like a pencil and forgot about it.
I don't think it's going to be that thin.
I don't think so either. But again, I don't think this technology is going to be like wide-lived anyways because like I said with like you said and I said with augmented reality, it's going to be more what we can actually see and not what we can actually use.
I don't know if augmented reality is going to take off that quickly. I feel like that is going to take years to develop and
definitely
get into the hands of everyone to where this could only take about a year or two before we see it in stores.
Well, the thing with augmented reality and virtual reality is there's going to be a constantly improving technology field. It's going to be constantly changing and improving. Eventually, you're going to be able to even mix artificial intelligence and literally see like another human being that's actually a computer program standing next to you, or you'll be able to talk on the phone and as if you were actually talking to that person in real life, they could be sitting right next to you. Imagine that.
Right.
You're talking to Dad on the phone and he's just sitting next to you in a chair
Yeah.
that appeared out of nowhere.
Well, it's
That
kind
would
of
be
like
so cool, wouldn't it?
it's kind of like have you seen the show, or you haven't seen the show How I Met Your Mother, right?
I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, How I Met Your Mother is a show about it's a guy telling his kids how he met their mother, and so the show itself is about his adventures.
So it's essentially actually a memory flashback.
Yes, every show is a memory flashback. And for the first season or two, every show would start off with, and it had Bob Saget was the voiceover in the beginning, and it showed 2 kids sitting on a couch, and it said, "Kids, did I ever tell you about the time?" Blah 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 blah. Then it would flash back, and it would show the year. Well, the show took off so much, and they had so much story left to tell that by the time they got to a certain stage, those kids sitting on the couch were, because all those clips were filmed at once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all those clips were filmed at once, and those kids had already grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Michelle Trachtenberg was one of them when she was younger, and then one of the guys from that was a Disney Channel star.
So every episode would start like that?
For the first 1 to 2 seasons, and then they started running out of those clips because they had the ending filmed already. They already knew how it was going to end, and they had the kids portion filmed. So they were just adding on stories from season to season. So there were a lot of them started, kids, did I ever tell you about the time this? Or like in the middle of the show, they'd be like, okay, wait a minute. Or like, there was a point when they were talking about like smoking weed, and he's like, a big bag of sandwiches. They were sandwiches, and they really wasn't sandwiches, it was weed. But it would flash back, and he would go, sandwiches, and the kids they're like, yeah, Dad, whatever, So it was something like that. So the whole show was a flashback, essentially. Okay? And during one of the and anyway, so during the show, they were talking about they did a flash forward to several years later, because 2 of the, not like the main characters, but like the background characters, it showed them how like they ended up meeting, and so it started with like those 2 characters coming up, and one of the main characters going, "Oh, how have you been? Blah 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 blah," and they were meeting, and she told the story, and then it went into the episode and showed how they got together, and then at the end, the main character pulls out his phone, dials a number, and it projects the guy who answers, who was the actual main character, named Ted. It projected a picture of him, like just right out, so like it was like they were talking to each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that's excuse me. That's kind of how I imagine augmented reality is going to turn long distance communication into.
Right.
I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to allow us to be more interactive with our phone or with our our communing,
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be cool. I expect a lot of things out of it in the coming years. I expect a lot of things in the coming years. It's going to be... We live in a time of technological revolution where everything is going to be constantly changing, constantly improving, maybe taking a few steps back here and there, but that's the cause of innovation.
Right.
Trial and error, keep practicing, keep testing new ideas until they work, and then continue to strive forward. We live in one of those ages where that's not going to stop. We're just going to keep working until we break through the ceiling,
right,
and keep going even higher, and we're going to keep going until we literally can't go anymore. And that's kind of what it is. We live in a time of technological revolution. Things are going to keep changing, and whether we like it or not,
right,
we're going to have to learn to roll with it, and expect changes, and adapt as the technology adapts.
Right.
And grow with it, we have all these new ideas coming into play, and they're studied for years and years and years, and then we start to put them into action and actually start to get them to become reality.
Right.
So, it's really it's amazing, to say the least. Even going to the auto show this year, I saw so many new implements of technology. There was a program that was installed that's one company's working on, that puts a sensor in your car that keeps an eye on you to make sure you're awake. So, for example, if something happens and you fall asleep or pass out or physically cannot drive, the car will take control and park you in a safe location as soon as it can. Another one was self-driving, which right now is being tested with backup drivers. What else? New braking systems, new acceleration systems, eco boosts, green engines. Stuff that's better for the environment, stuff that makes the car more advanced. Sure, it's another thing that could break, but it moves us forward more.
Right.
So, I've seen a lot of ideas at the auto show, and it's mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling.
But anyways, moving on with technology, and this next bit, which is actually pretty sweet as well. Wearable sensors may soon alert you to sickness before symptoms show. Aaron, imagine that you had like a watch or a wristband that's going to let you know, like, hey, listen, this is in your body. This germ is happening. You're going to be getting sick in the next couple days. Prepare, go to the doctor, get your medicine, get this now. If it's something dire, go to the hospital, before it's too late. Can you imagine that?
No, because if there's anything like that, I want them to be able to tell. I don't want them to just be able to tell me that I'm sick, but I want them to tell me what I need to take to fight it off, or be able to like say, "Don't worry, like you have this germ in your body, you got it from here, but don't worry, we're killing it," or something like that. Like,
you want something that does it all for you,
right? Or tells me what medications to take so that I can walk up to my doctor. Here's my report.
Well, this is kind of
give me a prescription.
This is like the beginning steps of this. A next step for smartwatches and fitness trackers, maybe. Wearable gadgets have Stanford University professor gave him an early warning that he was getting sick before he ever felt any symptoms of Lyme disease. Geneticist Michael Snyder never had Lyme's characteristics bullseye rash, but a smartwatch and other sensors charted changes in Snyder's heart rate and oxygen levels during the family vacation.
Right.
Eventually, a fever struck that led to his diagnosis. Say wearables and step-counting fitness trackers spring to mind. It's not clear if they really make a difference in users' health, but now Snyder's team at Stanford is starting to find out, tracking the everyday lives of several dozen volunteers wearing devices that monitor more than mere activity. He envisions one day having wearables that act as a sort of check engine light indicating it's time to see the doctor. One way to look at this is the equivalent of oral thermometers, but you're measuring yourself all the time. Changes in people's day-to-day physiology and may flag when certain ailments are brewing, from colds to Lyme's to even type 2 diabetes. Interest in wearable sensors is growing along the efforts to personalize medicine as scientists learn how to tailor treatments and preventive care to people's genes, environment, and lifestyle. The sensors are expected to be a part of the National Institute of Health's huge precision medicine study planned to begin later this year. The first step is learning what's normal for different people under different conditions. The Stanford team is collecting reams of data, as many as 250,000 daily measurements from volunteers who wear up to 8 activity monitors or other sensors of varying sizes that measure heart rate, blood oxygen, skin temperature, sleep, calories expended, exercise, and even exposure to radiation. That's paired with occasional laboratory tests to measure blood chemistry and some genetic information. This kind of approach is going to help science more than the general public until there's better data about what's normal or not. So imagine that. You're literally a wristband that tells you when you got something oncoming, so it'll tell you what you need to do, whether it's go to the doctor, go to the hospital, or just take an Advil.
Huh. I couldn't imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fathom that there's technology out there that can tell me, right? Because sometimes you go to the doctor and they don't even know what's going on. How do we know that this actual piece of technology works?
Because it's going to measure all these different aspects of your body, and then it's going to pair with data, for example, past blood tests you did, and it'll sample your DNA, it'll, compare stuff and, analyze risks and immunities and see how your DNA or, how your system would possibly respond to such things. Imagine April, your significant other, being sick with a flu, and,
she's always sick with something.
okay, and then she kisses you and she passes it on to you.
Right.
And 5 minutes later your wrist beeps and it's like, oh, you've just ingested this germ. You're probably gonna catch this. Here's what you can do about it.
See, that's what I want it to give me a solution, not just tell me, hey, by the way, you're gonna get sick in about 2 days. Or like,
Well, like I said, it's gonna tell you what you
but
can
I want
do
it
to
to be
help.
funny about it too. I want it to be like, dude, stay by the bathroom in the next 2 days because you're gonna be like blowing it up or something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Be like, you are gonna be Taco Bell sick.
Oh, yeah, don't make me think about that. I had food poisoning from Taco Bell
I had food
a
poisoning
couple
from
weeks
bad
ago.
pizza.
I haven't had Taco Bell in like 3 weeks now,
So
which is like a record for me, by the way.
Speaking of Taco Bell, my friend and I had this idea. We were
Oh, God.
joking around at work, and because he had just realized there was a Taco Bell in the food court, and I said, you know what? I just realized something. I feel like everybody needs a official Taco Bell break. You get an hour. You get half an hour to go out and get your food and eat it, and then the second half hour to be on the toilet.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And then about 5 or 10 minutes to recover.
To recover.
Yeah, to just kind of sit down and go, ah.
Oh my God. Right? Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. But either way, this kind of thing, it just goes to show, like I was saying, we live in a time where technology is constantly improving, constantly changing, and this is just another prime example that a new idea, well, somewhat new idea, that's being put through its steps, being traced, doing its experiments and trial and error processes, and it's getting to be a thing. And in 10 years, or 5 to 10 years, we may very well have a wristband that does all of that we have just mentioned, including the stuff that you wish it would do. And like I said, this stuff is constantly improving. Technology is always moving forward.
Right.
And at the cost of a little bit of trial and error, we can be much further ahead for it. So, it's I am proud to say that we live in an exciting time. Granted, politically and environmentally, we might be dealing with some troubles, but with new technology, this is going to help us combat that. Like,
right.
Another good example is like the EcoBoost technology on cars. Stuff like that makes it better for the environment.
Right.
So, technology is easily helping us in all kinds of aspects of our lives. Some people like it, some people don't. But the thing is, it's our future. It's the way things are going to be.
Yes.
So it's best to hop on the bandwagon. Learn what you can about technology because it's not going anywhere.
Right.
It is the way of the future. So seeing these new ideas and knowing that they're going to get even better and more amazing in the coming years, it's exciting.
I think it is exciting. I think there's some excitement with the, just all the new technology that's coming out. It's just, it's very.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of a really good word to describe it.
It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling.
Yep. And even then, it's like it can even all the fields it's in, whether it be cars, whether it be medicine, whether it be like technology like phones or tablets or game systems. It's everywhere,
Is it everywhere?
It is. It's in the trees, Aaron.
Is it even in
Movie Madness Monday? Movie Madness Monday!
You know what, Aaron? Actually, considering the first story, yes, actually, it is.
Okay, well then why don't you kick off Movie Madness Monday?
All right. So a rumor has been circulating around that Lucasfilm is going to use digital recreation of Carrie Fisher in the next Star Wars film. A lot of people, were happy or very upset to hear about this. It's kind of like, hey, in memory, respect to the memory of, But Lucasfilm has expressed that they don't normally respond to fan or press speculation, but the rumor is circulating around that they would like to address, saying, we want to assure our fans that Lucasfilm has no plans to digitally recreate Carrie Fisher's performance as Princess or General Leia Organa. This week, online speculation suggested Lucasfilm could potentially use digital technology to bring Fisher's Leia back for Star Wars Episode IX. I'm not good with Roman numerals. I'm assuming that's 8.
Well, how many Star Wars movies are there?
7, so I'm assuming this is 8.
That would be 8.
Technically, there's 8 if you include Rogue One, but this is gonna be Episode 8. Much in the same way.
You mean 9?
Well, this is gonna be the 9th movie they make, but it's gonna be the episode 8.
Right.
But
But you said technically with Rogue One it'd be episode 8. It'd be episode 9 with Rogue One.
yes,
But it's actually episode 8.
yes, because Rogue One is a spinoff.
Anyway, continue.
So basically, much in the same way young Princess Leia and Grand Moff Tarkin have been done, with the late Peter Cushing, how he was in. Oh wait, you haven't seen Rogue One.
I have not.
It's same thing that they did with Star Wars Rogue One. They used spatial digital recreation technology to bring Grand Moff Tarkin, who was played by Peter Cushing, into the new Rogue One. So this is basically the rumor, that they're gonna do the same thing for Leia, for the coming movies. But they're addressing that rumor, saying no. Fisher finished her work on this year's Star Wars Episode 7 before her death last month. Or 8. Oh, you know what? No, they're not going to bring her back for Episode 9. IX is 9. I realize that now. But Fisher did finish her work for this year's Star Wars Episode 8 before her death last month. Carrie Fisher was and is always will be part of the Lucasfilm family. Continued in the statement. She was our princess, our general, and more importantly, our friend. We are still hurting from her loss. We cherish her memory and legacy as Princess Leia, and will always strive to honor everything she gave to Star Wars. Fisher's death will definitely spell some changes for Episode 9, which is still being written. As we discussed earlier this year, Carrie Fisher died at age 60 on December 27th, the day before her mother, 84-year-old Debbie Reynolds, also died.
Reynolds.
Yes, my bad.
It's not Reynolds, it's Reynolds.
Either way, rest in peace, and may the Force be with you. So, this definitely shed some light on what they're going to be doing. Again, they already finished their filming for Episode 8. So, basically, the rumors that they're talking about are addressed towards Episode 9, which is basically the movie that's going to be after that, after the Han Solo spinoff. So, basically, this year we're going to be getting Episode 8, which the filming's already done. Next year we're going to get our Han Solo spinoff, next holiday season.
Han Solo.
However you want to pronounce it. Anyways, and then after that, the next year, we're going to be doing Episode 9. So even then, it's not even for another 2 or 3 years until we see Episode 9. But Lucasfilm has expressed that they're not going to be used digital recreation. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be some story changes then.
Or, because it's still being written, it may not be changed, they just may write it a different way.
Maybe. Either way, we'll see. Well, we won't see until the movie comes out, and that's going to be a couple years. So, got a little bit of a wait for the time being. You can look forward to this coming December when we get Episode 8, which I'm actually excited for. But, Rogue One's is still in theater. It's too early to start talking about the next one.
Right.
You still got to see Rogue One, don't you?
Yes.
Do it. You got to see it before it's out of theaters, man. You missed out on Doctor Strange.
I did miss out on Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you did.
Although, I saw Pets, and I missed that out of theater, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go and see it.
Why, it wasn't that good?
It wasn't that great.
What, The Secret Life of Pets?
Yeah.
And, it looked like it looked hit or miss.
It looked really good. I had, and it kind of goes back to that thing that you said, you don't have high hopes for it. But I had hopes that it was just going to be a simple movie. It seemed like a movie about, what dogs were going to do when you were out. It turned into this whole, there's a secret organization, and there's, they did something, or another dog got added into the main character's house, and they got into a
basically
fight.
Garfield.
No, but it's worse than Garfield.
It's worse than Garfield. It sounded like, when I saw the trailer, it looked kind of like a Garfield.
Like, Garfield is good. Garfield is funny.
I heard Bill Murray actually regretted making that movie.
What, Garfield?
Yeah.
I don't know why. They were both really good. Actually, there were 3, I think. There was 2 to 3.
I don't know. The first one was good, but
the first one was really good. The second one was eh. The first one was really good. I laughed so hard the first time I watched it. I actually might go watch that movie again.
There's a lot of movies I get. I just ordered this Amazon Fire Stick. You're supposed to be able to access any stream you want just using the Wi-Fi. So it's going to be great. I'm going to be watching so much stuff probably. No, actually, I'm probably not even. I'm too busy. I hardly ever have time to do anything that I want to do. Just because I'm always... Well, actually, that's not true. I enjoy doing everything I do, except for restaurant work. Restaurant work is horrible. But everything else I tend to enjoy doing, even if it's one of those positive stresses in your life, doing an internship.
Right.
It's a little stressful, but in a good way. It helps move you forward.
Anyway, so I think I'm going to get on to our next topic, and it's going to screw Mark up because I'm jumping down a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how we were talking earlier about How I Met Your Mother. Well, I have a little bit of news on that. One of the actresses, Colby Smulders, who used to play Robin Scherbatsky on the show How I Met Your Mother, is getting a new sitcom. The sitcom is called Songbird. It's already being shot on location, and it is about a former musician trying to turn her life around. The musician's name is Joanne Sykes, and she was a vocalist for a popular 90s indie rock band called the Filthy Dukes. Unfortunately, Joni and the band, her relationship, and her life all began to fall apart at the same time. So this is kind of like her life was great, and then it just kind of everything started happening at once. The mountain started to crumble all at once.
Right.
And she began thinking about her next step in life. She drunkenly applies for her higher education, but finds that the college life isn't what she expected. Far less than wildly partying, a lot more yoga and kale, according to the Variety. Through that, she finds love in unexpected places. The question of whether or not this version of her new start is right for her situation will follow her. So it kind of seems like a show I might watch.
Right. Like I said, I didn't really watch How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother.
Sorry. I'm just pretty tired. Like I said, the last week's been pretty crazy, so I haven't been running on a lot of sleep. But either way, I haven't watched a lot of How I Met Your Mother. What?
You need to.
I'll put it on the list, but
you need to watch it from beginning to end.
Hang on, give me just a second.
Because it's an awesome show. It's really funny. It's really.
Here's my list of things I want to watch. This is my list of every show that I want to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, this list of things that I want to watch on my entire phone screen. I have to scroll through the entire screen like 3 or 4 times just to see all the names.
Do you know how many items that is?
40 plus, at least.
I think you should put How I Met Your Mother at the top of the list.
Right now, Game of Thrones is at the top of the list.
Nah, you can skip Game of Thrones. How I Met Your Mother's better. Anyway, so Jessica Hines is another actress who will be playing in the show, and she actually played in Doctor Who. She played a character in an episode of Doctor Who. I believe it was during the reign of the 10th Doctor, who was played by David Tennant. Yes, it was, and it was during a show called The Family. This particular episode was a 2-parter when the Doctor had to go undercover. He pretty much made himself temporarily human, to kind of throw off this race called the Family that was trying to pretty much eat him.
Oh, that's gotta be great.
In a sense. This Jessica Haynes
They sound lovely.
Jessica Haynes played an actress who played the school nurse of the school that he was at while he was human. So that was kind of cool. She's a really good actress. So I'm kind of excited for this. I don't know why, but I'm just really excited for this show. I don't know if it's the fact that it had Robin Scherbatsky in it, or if it's the fact that it's just like the concept of it seems kind of cool.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'm like I said, I usually don't have a lot of time to watch shows. My list is rather long, but it sounds like an interesting show.
Okay, so why don't we move on? So the next topic I'd like to talk about is it's the list of movies coming out in 2017. And I know we keep covering this, but the reason I do is because I keep getting more and more and more information on some of these new movies that are coming out. So I like to keep you all updated. The first one is a movie called A Dog's Purpose. This one is actually one my girlfriend wants to see.
Oh my God, A Dog's Purpose?
I want to see it too, but I don't want my girlfriend to see it because I know she'll cry like 5 times. Okay?
You know what? I've seen the trailer for this movie, and let me tell you, me and Jenna, we absolutely love dogs. We're gonna go see this movie, and I guarantee you that we are both going to bawl like a
We
little
should
baby.
we should just the four of us should go out and we can all four ball like babies. Anyway,
Maybe.
so here's the reason that it's so sad. The movie A Dog's Purpose is about a single dog. It's about a dog who starts off his life with a little boy, and they have this deflated football that they play with. Okay, and takes you through this dog's whole life. He dies and pretty much is like reincarnated or wakes up in a different dog's body.
Mhm.
So it's like he's a different dog. And so he lives all these different lives of all these different dogs.
But it's always just the same owner, isn't it?
No, it's with a different owner every time. But he's always doing something very, like at one point he was a German Shepherd police dog, and then he was always doing something very important. But at the end he finds his original owner. Mind you, the original actual dog's body passed away, but he finds the old owner as he's grown up, who is played by Dennis Quaid, plays like the older version of the little boy that he used to play with.
Right.
The dog finds a football and like that deflated football and plays with it. And there was a special thing they would do. The little boy would throw it, and then the dog would run and jump over the owner's back and catch it.
Right.
Okay, so he did that, and he's like, "Where did you find that?" And so, but it's one of those things where you're going through all these different dogs' lives. So at every point when he switches, that dog has to die.
It sounds like one of those movies.
And
it sounds like it's one of those movies that's based behind the idea of reincarnation.
It kind of is. And then but the weird part is it doesn't seem like it starts off when they're puppies. It seems like they start off kind of when it's in the middle of its life.
Right, right.
So it's really weird. But I know every time one of those dogs dies, my girlfriend is going to bawl her eyes out.
Oh, so is Jenna, and probably
So
me
it's
as well.
going to switch through like 3 or 4 different dogs, and the dogs are going to die like 3 or 4 different times, and she's going to cry 3 or 4 different times.
Well, it's the same thing with Jenna, and another thing is too, she just had to put down her dog just before Christmas.
Oh, that's sad.
So it was pretty sad, but it's gonna probably hit her even harder though because of that,
Right.
But either way though, this movie looks absolutely amazing. I'm definitely going to go see it, and I'm probably gonna cry like a little baby because
I think I will too.
absolutely love dogs, and it's one of those stories that are just so touching. Dogs are just so great. I just wanna just love them all. I love dogs. Dogs are great.
Dogs are awesome.
But either way, I can't wait to see this movie. It's gonna be amazing.
It is.
Mhm. So let's see. What's the next movie on this list?
John Wick 2.
I didn't even hear much about the first one. But I heard it was good. I'm assuming by looking at it, he's kind of like an undercover secret agent kind of guy who's on the run. But I'm not sure. I don't know much about this movie. Do you?
Only what IMDb tells me. And what IMDb tells me is that is a continuation of adventures of the former hitman. So he's a hitman named John Wick.
Okay, so I was right.
To an extent, you were right, yes.
All right. Well, it looks interesting, and it's got Keanu Reeves in it. He's a pretty good actor.
Yes, he's a very good actor.
Here's another one that's looking interesting. Born Leader, Boss Baby, or The Boss Baby.
Hold up. The first one. So it is John Wick is about a ex-hitman comes out of retirement to track down the gangsters that took everything from him.
Oh, it's one of those movies.
It is one of those movies. It's kind of like it's a revenge movie.
That's cool. That might actually be kind of good. I'd have to go see the first one.
It's kind of like The Equalizer, I feel like. Like, did you see The Equalizer?
No, I did not.
It has Denzel Washington in it. It was a good movie.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it, but I'll have to look into that.
Anyway, continue on.
Yeah, so this next movie on the list is Born Leader, The Boss Baby. And
that looks really good. Have you seen the commercials for that?
I saw the one, and it's supposed to come out like March 31st. I saw the trailer for it, and they got one of those big serious guys as like a actor for the baby, and it's like a silly person for like some kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember who. I think what's his name? I think Kevin Spacey. I'm not sure. There was that guy who played the boss in Horrible Bosses, I think. Let me check. Hang on.
It is. Come on.
I believe
It is Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. Okay, never mind.
Alec Baldwin plays the voice of the baby.
Okay. Yeah.
And Miles Christopher Beckish plays the voice of Tim, who is the little boy. So pretty much what this movie is about, and I have seen the trailer. This movie is about a suit-wearing, briefcase-carrying baby pairs up with a 17-year-old brother who stops the dastardly plot of a CEO of Puppy Co.
So the boss
So-
baby is actually a good guy.
Yeah, but not. It doesn't make it seem like that in the original trailer. So in the original trailer, it's kind of from the boy's point of view, and he's like, "It's always been us, like the three of us," and it was talking about him, his mom and his dad, and him. And he's like, and then one day, and he's about like 17, and they bring the baby home, and it's a baby wearing a suit, carrying a briefcase, and every time it's kind of one of those things. Every time his parents turn away, he does something and gets the boy in trouble. And then one day he wakes up in the middle of the night, he hears talking, and he walks and he goes into the baby's room, and the baby's like, suit, like pants off, but he's got like those things that hold up his socks, and like has like the shirt. He's got like no pants, shirt with a loose tie, and he's like, he was talking, and the kid caught him, and he's like, goo goo gaga. He's like, no, I wait, or he's like, no, I just saw you talking, and he's like, well. Jig's up. He's like, well, since you're up, can you get me a soy latte, blah 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 blah, with this and this and this and this and this, and he's like, here, and go buy yourself some new pants or something like that. And it's kind of like he's, and then he's like, why should I? And the baby gets up into like this high chair and was like, let me take a look, and pretty much acts like his boss. And so it's one of those things that it looks like a really good movie.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I'm might have to see it. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of movies I'd like to see.
There are a lot of movies I would like to see. I haven't even been able to make it into theaters.
Yeah, but the trailer made it look pretty funny. I don't remember the trailer firsthand, but it looked okay. So what's the next movie on this list?
Triple X.
Triple
Again.
X. I haven't seen any of the Triple X movies, but I know it's supposed to be like a badass, just people doing crazy stuff, and to accomplish some crazy goal, like a secret, like a Mission Impossible kind of deal.
Well, the original Triple X was an extreme sports athlete. Alexander Cage is reunited by the government for a special mission.
Interesting. Yeah, I've seen a lot of trailers for this too, and I think
And it's got Vin Diesel in it.
I think it's got Samuel L. Jackson in it as well.
Well, that's the original. The 2 was Triple X or State of the Union, it says. And it says Darius Stone is the new agent in the Triple X program, is sent to Washington, D.C. to defuse the power struggle amongst national leaders.
Oh, that sounds interesting. They did a lot of action scenes or sequences during the trailer, if I recall. They had like a dirt bike that had like water skis on it, so they were like driving a dirt bike and shooting the curl on like a tidal wave, which was kind of cool. They had one scene where they were, I believe, if this is the same movie, they were like skiing through the jungle and like bouncing off of tree branches and stuff.
Well, Triple X was always meant with like, he was always like a dirt bike guy.
Yeah, like almost like an extreme motorsport or something,
So Triple X 3, Return of Alexander Cage, is Alexander Cage left for dead after an incident, though he secretly returns to action for a new tough assignment with his handler Augustus Gibbons. So we get to see Vin Diesel in this third one.
Sweet.
And the trailer's playing, and it looks pretty sweet. Like it looks like a rocket skateboard and
a dirt bike skier.
Oh man, there was this Vin Diesel. They were on a plane, and there was a whole bunch of army guys, and he pressed the button to drop this pallet, and they were all attached to the pallet.
Oh, you know what?
And
I
it
think
flew him off the.
Yep, that's pretty funny.
I
So,
like Vin Diesel. He does a lot of really good movies.
He does. He's done a lot of good stuff.
So next on our list is Underworld. Have you seen any of the Underworld series?
I've seen bits and pieces of some of them. They're good movies from what I saw. You know, a lot of like that vampire versus werewolves kind of stuff. Kind of like a off-spin version kind of deal.
Well, there's a lot of
Resident
Underworld.
Evil. This is like the fourth or fifth one.
Yeah, because there was let's see if I can find so there was Underworld, which came out in 2003, and then there was Underworld Evolution came out in 2006.
Yep, and then I think there was Underworld like Awakening.
No, Underworld Rise of the Lockhands come out in 2009.
Rise of the Lycans.
Yep.
Yep.
Then Awakening came in 2012.
Yep.
And then this year it's going to be
Blood Wars.
no, last year it was Blood Wars. It says that came out in 2016.
Oh,
That's what it said. It says it came out in 2016.
Oh, I wonder what it's doing on this list then. I didn't see it, but I remember seeing trailers for it. I guess.
It says a vampires.
I guess it was in and out of theaters quickly.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been one of those that didn't do so well, so they pulled it out.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably more hype going towards like I think that new Resident Evil movie. I think it is.
Yeah.
That one's getting a lot of hype. So then the next movie on this list is none other than Power Rangers.
And we're not talking about the cheap Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from when we were kids. We're talking about legitimate, really cool looking, controversial outfit wearing Power Rangers.
It looks pretty bad, it looks pretty awesome.
Well, I don't know if I've read the synopsis for this one. It's a group of students, or of high school kids, who are infused with a unique superpower, harness their abilities in order to save the world. So, I mean, you remember when you were a kid, they were just random, like, high schoolers that happened to have these powers. They never really showed how they got them. Or
yeah,
at least,
come to think of it, I don't think they did.
No, they were just always a group of kids that, like, happened to have this sweet equipment, awesome suits, and sweet fighting abilities.
And also making the grass explode behind them.
Yes.
That was, like, another one of their superpowers. They could just, like, do a pose, and the grass behind them would just explode.
But this one has Bryan Cranston in it. Elizabeth Banks, Bill Hader, Naomi Scott, David Denham, and a lot of other really good. And they've got the Pink Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, the Red Ranger, Black, Blue. I think that's it. And their suits look awesome.
They really do, though.
The problem is they were so controversial. Because of the,
you know what?
because
these aren't even controversial, man. Everybody's just being butthurt about it.
It's because they gave the girls boobs and high heels, and it's like, really? That's what you're gonna complain about?
That's just because people like to complain. Like, literally, that's like the number one pastime in today's America is complaining.
That's what I feel like, but
Either way, I for one am going to see this.
I'm gonna try to go and see it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see it when I get a chance, but
I remember watching the trailer, and it's like this really cool scene where like the one guy he like manages to jump like a canyon, and the one guy I think he's like the Blue Ranger or something. He's like, "Oh man, I don't know, I don't think I can do this. This is kind of crazy." And they send him running towards it, and then he tries to jump it, and he makes it, and then he gets to the other side, and he's just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just did that." So the trailer looks pretty good. I think they revamped the story in a way that's gonna work pretty well and be enjoyable by adults as well as children.
And you still get that 90s nostalgia that you used to from.
Well, yeah, it's Power Rangers. But yeah, so we'll see how that
Go
goes.
Power Rangers.
Mhm. It's morphin' time. But anyway, so what's the next movie on this list?
Oh, let's see. The next movie is, if my computer works the way I want it to,
Let's see.
Beauty and the Beast.
I know you're excited for that one.
I am beyond excited. There's no word to describe the excitement for this movie that I have.
He's so excited, guys. Like really, like he's like even when we're not on the show, he probably mentions it every other conversation we have. Like Beauty and the Beast, Beauty and the Beast. It
It is a great movie.
It does look good, and it's got Emma Watson in it, which is like a big cool thing. Like Emma Watson is a pretty awesome actor. We just watched Prisoner of Azkaban the other night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I loaned, when Justin was here last week, I loaned him my entire series of Harry Potter.
Nice.
Because I guess his wife told him he has to watch the entire Harry Potter series because he'd never seen it.
Seconded. You have to see Harry
So
Potter.
I sent him with a little Star Wars bag that I had full of my Harry Potter
Has he
movies.
seen the Star Wars movies?
Yes.
Okay,
He's a
good.
huge Star Wars fan.
I was about to say, man, that's like two big ones that you have to see.
No, I just sent him. It was all in the Star Wars bag because I thought he could appreciate it.
Right.
So Emma Watson plays Belle. Dan Stevens plays the Beast the Beast / Princess Adam. Gaston is played by Luke Evans. Ian McGregor plays Lumiere, which is the candlestick. Emma Thompson plays Mrs. Potts. Cogsworth is played by Ian Kellen, who is also played in Lord of the Rings, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did he now?
He played in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I'm pretty sure he was Gandalf.
Oh,
Again, could be wrong, but pretty sure he was Gandalf.
That'd be cool.
Well, you're not going to see him. It's just his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's,
Right.
Let's see. Ian.
There's a ton of actors in it. I know that because, there was a ton of characters. I feel like Beauty and the Beast actually had more characters than most Disney movies. Or more characters that mattered.
Yeah. Well, no. Because you've got Hercules, and they had Hercules. They had Meg. They had Pain and Panic. They had Pegasus. Who was the little goat guy?
Oh, no, that's Phil.
They had
Pegasus
Phil.
was the Pegasus.
No, I know, but I'm talking about the goat guy. It was
Okay.
Phil. They had Phil. They had
Did you mention
Hades.
Did you mention Zeus and like Hera and
They
all
had
those...
Zeus and all them. So they had a lot of really
Half the cast was gods.
Right. They were all godly.
Yeah. Aladdin had a decent amount, I feel.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of movies have a lot of characters in it. I don't know. I just feel like Beauty and the Beast is one of the ones that had a lot more prominent characters.
Ian McKellen played Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings.
So Gandalf is going to be in Beauty and the Beast.
Pretty much.
And which character is he going to be again?
Cogsworth.
The clock?
Yes, the clock.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's actually cool. He's probably my favorite character if I see it.
Just because it's...
Just because it's Gandalf.
Anyway, so this movie is packed full of celebrities and all those characters you know and love. And I've seen the actual trailer for this. If you haven't seen the Beauty and the Beast trailer, it is on IMDb. It is awesome. I mean, just because I was kind of skeptical when I was looking at when I saw the original trailer, because I heard the voice and I'm like, oh, Lumiere is gonna suck, because he was one of my favorites. Was Lumiere.
He's the candle.
He is the candlestick. And so I kind of lost a little bit of faith in this movie. But then I saw the animation and how the Beast looked. And the Beast had a lot of I don't know, he looked a lot like what he did in the animated.
Yeah.
But they made him look more real.
Yeah,
instead of just having some little horns, his horns actually came up and curled, kind of like a goat's.
Right.
And the clock was very detailed. Chip Cup had you know how a lot of candle or a lot of cup fancy teacups will have this design in them.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the design was the face.
Oh, okay.
So that's what made that kind of cool. Same thing with Mrs. Potts. She had this really cool fancy design, just like the one that Chip Cup had, except she's a teapot and she had the face was part of the design, and they had the flower. Now, one thing that was kind of controversial about this movie is the fact that Emma Watson refused to wear a what's it called?
The one with the big dress, what was it, like a corset or something?
A corset.
Yeah.
She refused to wear a corset, although it was, they're trying to go for a time period thing, during that time period, that's what was worn. she refused to because of something about women's rights. And either way, she still wears the yellow dress. It still looks really awesome on her. And the movie looks really cool. Now, the cool part about this is the music was also done or was assisted by, I'm pretty sure, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, he's the one that did that huge musical play.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's the one that did the music on this, which is kind of cool. One thing I was worried about with some of the other live action movies, like I saw Jungle Book for the first time.
Yeah, that's on Netflix now, by the way.
I know, that's where I saw it. That was really good. I was really happy with how that turned out. And it was because it made it so real. Like, you know, in the movie The Jungle Book, everybody broke out into song. And in this one, they didn't really break out into song.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Baloo, who was played by Bill Murray,
right,
was like just walking, and he was just kind of humming the tune.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was like,
yep. So
you
anyway,
know, the bare necessities of life, and you know, it was just singing, and
whistling probably too.
And he was whistling a little bit, and Mowgli's like, Baloo, what is that? He's like, oh, it's a song, and he explains to him what a song is. So then, when kind of events change and they turn into a good pair, they're floating, you know, Baloo's floating on the river with Mowgli on his stomach, and they're singing the song, but not like there's no music, no like score, like music score.
Right, they're
or
just
anything.
singing it.
It's just like the bear, you know, they're just singing it, having a good time, and that's what I liked about it because they added that song, they added the monkey song, and you know, I want to be like you, but they didn't have like music to it. Right. It wasn't like they were singing; they were just singing a song that they knew. It was kind of cool.
Right. Yeah, no, it looks good. You know, have you seen Captain America: Civil War?
I have not.
Well, you know what? Now you can because that is on Netflix as well.
Really?
Yes, Captain America: Civil War is on Netflix. Now you can watch it. So now you're going to watch it.
Well, if I get time, because I haven't been able to watch my normal Netflix.
Aaron, you're going to watch it.
Well, let's see.
All right. So what else is on the list?
Kong is on the list.
Kong, yeah, Skull Island.
I'm so done with King Kong movies.
I know you're done with King Kong movies, so I'll tell you how it goes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got Ghost in the Shell. For most people who don't know, first of all, this movie's gonna have Scarlett Johansson in it, and she's like an amazing actress. Ghost in the Shell is actually an anime, so this movie's gonna be a live-action adaptation, which usually I'm pretty skeptical about because it's hardly ever that they do a good job doing a live-action adaptation to an anime. Same story with video games; it usually just ends horribly. Like I heard Assassin's Creed didn't get good reviews. But either way,
really, I thought Assassin's Creed would be really good. It looked really awesome.
It looked good, but I heard its reviews are not very good. But anyways, Ghost in the Shell is going to be a live-action adaptation to the anime Ghost in the Shell. So we'll see how that goes. It's got Scarlett Johansson in it, so I have some hope for it.
Well, why don't we move on since you have no hope for that movie?
I said I have some hope for it.
Is a movie called A Monster Calls.
A Monster Calls?
It's a movie about a boy who seeks help from a tree monster to cope with his single mother's terminal illness.
Really?
It comes out to December 23rd in select theaters. And it is starring Louis McDowell, Sigourney Weaver, Felicity Jones, which are all some pretty big names.
Right.
So this is one that kind of caught my eye. I haven't really seen the commercial. Like, I saw one kind of commercial for it. I'm actually going to watch the trailer a little bit later.
Mm-hmm. Here's the next movie on the list. Honestly, I think this one's a little bit strange in concept, but I saw a little trailer for it, and it looks weird. It's called Monster Trucks, and contrary to what I originally thought it would be, it is not another adaptation of Cars like Planes was.
Really?
It is its own thing. Judging by the cover and what I saw in the trailer, the trucks are alive. And they're inhabited by some kind of beast. If you're looking at
I think I've seen that. Yeah, there was it's like there's a beast living in the monster trucks.
Yep, and it's live action. Like there's actual real people.
It looks really cool.
It looks weird, is what it looks. But if there's an opportunity where I could see it for free, I might go see it.
I would go and see it either way.
I don't know. We'll see. The creature who inhabits what seems to be the main truck, he looks kind of like a shark mixed with a squid.
Kind of.
Hmm But again, we'll see how it goes. It looks weird, but interesting to say the least. No, a couple other movies on this list is the
Sleepless.
well,
Sleepless is a movie.
Yep.
It's a cop with a connection to a criminal underworld scours the nightclub to search for his kidnapped son.
Interesting.
And guess who's in it?
Who?
Guess who's in it?
Matt Damon?
No.
Who?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. Oh,
Jamie Foxx.
Nice. A couple other movies on the list too. Is we got The Bye Bye Man, which Jenna she wants to go really see. I heard it's supposed to be like a boogeyman thing.
I don't do.
I know you don't do horror movies. I know. And then there's also The Rings that's coming out, which I'm not sure if it's a reboot or a sequel to the original one. Again, I don't know. I might end up seeing that one just because Jenna wants to go see it really bad. What's another movie on this list, Aaron?
The Book of Love.
Do you know what that one's about?
I will in about 2 seconds.
Very well. So yeah, there's a lot of good movies coming out this year. I'm excited to see some of the stuff that we've seen on here, and there's still even more on this list that we're about to go through.
Okay, so Henry is an introvert architect. After the death of his wife in a car accident, he sets out to help Millie, a homeless teen, to build a raft to sail across the Atlantic.
Yeah, it sounds like an interesting come together story.
Yeah. I'm gonna save this one as well to watch the trailer.
Yep. Another one is Split. This is gonna be more of a thriller movie, but it's about this guy who has 23 different personalities, like split personality disorder.
Ooh.
And the 24th one is about to be Unleashed, which I'm assuming it's gonna be some kind of killer, of course. So like I said, I think it's gonna be like a thriller / horror movie. Interesting in concept, I think, but I don't know. That remains to be seen. There's a movie in here with Michael Keaton. It's called The Founder. From looking at the cover, it looks like it's a story about the coming of McDonald's.
Kind of. It is the story of Ray McConaughey, a salesman who turned to two brothers' fast food eatery, McDonald's, into one of the biggest restaurant businesses in the world.
Yeah.
So it is about a salesman who basically took the McDonald's name and made it what it is today.
Oh, okay.
So this is not a movie saying how bad McDonald's is for you, like Super Size Me was.
Oh man, Super Size Me, that was disgusting.
It was a good movie.
It was enlightening to say the least.
It was very enlightening, or enheavening. Get it?
But so what's next on the list?
The Resurrection of Gavin Stone.
What's that about?
Give me a few seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of this one. Resurrection of Gavin Stone.
I feel like it's going to be one of those things where he's like resurrected. A washed-up former child star forced to do community service at a local mega church pretends to be a Christian to land a part of Jesus in their annual Passion Play, only to discover that the most important role of his life is far from Hollywood.
Interesting. So it's one of those.
So not nearly what I thought it would be.
Definitely not. Yeah.
I thought it would be something like a movie about a dude that died and like his ghost came back or something like that.
I guess not.
Fools me.
Yep. So so what else we got? Let's see. Red Turtle.
The Red Turtle.
The Red Turtle.
Red Turtle.
Does not look like much from the cover. Actually, it looks like the cover to like a book that we would have read in like elementary school.
It kind of does.
But I'm not really sure what's about.
I'm gonna look it up. So you keep going.
Yep. Oh, you know what? This next movie, well, the title itself is a profanity, but I guess since that's the title, it's okay. It's called Bastards, and it's captioned "Are You Our Daddy?" And it's got Ed Helms, and get this, Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah. That's kind of this strikes me as something that's going to be like a similar kind of movie to like Wedding Crashers. Or maybe like Stars
okay.
It's gonna be one of those
I loved Wedding Crashers. It's a great movie.
I think this is gonna be like definitely a comedy. Maybe similar to the Messenger Man or whatever with Vince Vaughn when he had all those kids and he had like 500 something kids.
That was a really good movie.
That was a good movie.
Anyway.
I feel like this is gonna be like that.
Well, let me go over the Red Turtle, and then I'll look that one up, and we'll figure out what that one's about. So the Red Turtle doesn't really look that interesting. It's the dialogue-less film follows the major life stages of a castaway on a deserted tropical island populated by turtles, crabs, and birds.
You lost me at dialogueless.
Right.
What's a movie without dialogue?
Right.
So
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, even Castaway, which had like one cast member overall.
That was an awesome movie.
Exactly, but at least there was some dialogue in there, you know.
Yes.
And every bit of dialogue was iconic in that movie, you know. But I don't know, a dialogue-less movie. That's I don't think I could do that. I really don't think I could do that. I would rather watch a documentary. And there's some good documentaries. I'm not knocking documentaries. So there's some good documentaries out there. Let's see.
Okay. So the movie Mark was just talking about was upon learning that their mother has been lying to them for years about their alleged deceased father, two fraternal twin brothers hit the road in order to find him. So apparently, it is about two brothers trying to find their father that they had thought, up to this point, was dead because their mother told them that he was dead.
So this sounds almost more like Twins. Have you seen Twins with Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger?
have not seen Twins, no.
It's got Arnold Schwarzenegger and I think Danny DeVito. And it's actually really funny. It's a little older now, but it's a good one.
I like Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
This one has J.K. Simmons in it, which J.K. Simmons is the guy who played the writer from the original Spider-Man movies.
Oh, okay.
He played that main writer. It's got Owen Wilson, Glenn Close, Ed Helms, Bill
okay,
Irwin.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a lot of that's one that I would want to go and see.
Yeah, I might go see that one. It sounds funny. Let's see. What else do we have on this list? There's a lot of different movies I haven't heard of in this list.
Yes.
Oh, that new movie, The Great Wall with Matt Damon's coming out this year.
What's that one about?
Well, I think it's like some kind of like a great like War of China kind of deal. It's let's see, it's a war about the Great Wall. It's saying some of the captions on the screen are 1,700 years to build, 500 or 5,500 miles long. What were they trying to keep out? Is what it's captioned. If I recall, the Great Wall of China was like built against the Mongolians.
Yes.
But either way, though, I heard it's supposed to be like an action movie, like a war kind of movie. So we'll see how that is. It's got Matt Damon. Matt Damon's a pretty good actor. I heard from what a lot of people's opinions are that he wasn't the guy that they should have rolled in there because I think it's like a racial controversy thing.
Okay, you ready for this? Here's our last one. This is the last one we're gonna go over. It's called Rock Dog.
Rock Dog.
When a radio falls from the sky into the hands of a wide-eyed Tibetan Mastiff,
Siberian Mastiff?
Yes. No, it's
Tibetan Mastiff?
Tibetan. There it is. Tibetan Mastiff. He leaves home to fulfill his dream of becoming a musician, setting into motion a series of complete unexpected events.
That sounds wow, that's I don't know. It strikes me like as kind of like I mean I don't know. You see a lot of these animal movies and it's like they're hit or miss.
Well, this one has Luke Wilson in it.
Luke Wilson, who's that?
Luke Wilson is, he's really cool. He played in Legally Blonde. He played the like husband of, or he played Emmett. Have you ever seen Legally Blonde?
No.
Have you seen Old School?
I don't think so.
He plays in Old School. He plays one of the guys who founded the quote unquote college.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. He played Mitch in the movie Old School.
Okay.
He also played in the movie Idiocracy. Have you seen that movie?
Idiocracy?
Yes.
I think I might have, but I don't remember anything about it.
Idiocracy was about this librarian who got frozen. It was like a military experiment.
Mhm.
Him and this girl got frozen in time. Well, got frozen, and they wake up several years later, and basically how they explained it is every smart person um didn't reproduce, and all the dumb people in the world reproduce more than they should have.
Oh.
And so it
no. That's
ends.
how that's how the human race is
So
gonna
it
die.
ends up. Let's see if I can get the official. Private Joe Berners is the definition of an average American, is selected by the Pentagon to be the guinea pigs for a top secret hibernation program. Forgotten, he awakes 5 centuries in the future and discovers that society so incredible dumbed down that he is easily the most intelligent man alive.
Oh.
Like there's this sports drink, because there was this commercial that kept just getting replayed.
Mhm.
And so that's what they started, because it's everything, like it's like tantrum gives them nutrients. So they started, instead of water, they started using this stuff.
Mhm.
And so he wakes up and it turns into like there's no president anymore, there's no democracy, there's like a dictator. And he's going through and he's trying to tell these people that they need water to grow their crops. They need, and in the end of the movie, he becomes like the quote unquote president, who's like a dictator, and turns everything around. But it's a really funny movie. It's a comedy.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Luke Wilson plays the main character. He also played in, what other movies did he play in?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I didn't really know firsthand who Luke Wilson, or offhand, whatever, know who he is. So I'm not sure what movies he plays in. But either way,
He played in Anchorman.
Rock Dog sounds interesting. This Rock Dog kind of reminds me of that movie Sing that's out right now.
Sing, I want to see that.
It looks decent.
I heard it's really good. I heard it's really funny.
If my niece and nephew wanted to go see it, I'd go see it with them. But I probably wouldn't go see it for myself.
Okay, so moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Our final topic of the day is going to be celebrities' real names.
Oh, we're about to take the cat out of the bag for a lot of people.
So
No.
this is something that I came up with, and it had some kind of some popular celebrities on the picture, so I had to go through it. So it says 22. We're gonna go top 10. So Samuel Timothy Smith. That is
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw is Samuel Timothy Smith. How's that?
Oh.
It's kind of hard to think. You would think that Tim McGraw was actually his name, but it's not. It's Samuel Timothy Smith.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't expect that. I mean, I don't know. I never really paid much thought into the idea that celebrities do aliases. I believe it. I believe that they would. I just never paid much thought to it.
Well, are you ready?
Yep.
The next one is Jason
Aldean
Williams.
Yeah. He what was it? He dropped his last name
and spelled it differently.
And changed Aldean differently.
Aldean is and his middle name is Aldine, and how you spell it professionally is Aldean. And then Elaine Regina
Edwards
is Shania Twain.
All right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Her name was Elaine.
Eileen, I think.
Eileen.
Is how it's pronounced.
Either way, she went from that to. And how do you come up with some of these? I don't understand how they come up. Who comes up with Shania Twain?
I don't know, but you know what? I was talking with somebody the other day, and we're like, imagine if somebody literally, for their kid's first name, they match 2 names together. Like for example, instead of Aaron, your name was Bobby John, or something like that, or
Billy Bob.
Yeah, or Skylar J or something. I don't know. Just something. Yeah, like the whole two first names mixed together for a first name. It's like, oh,
Okay.
you'd probably get points for originality.
Well, the next one is Cornelius Crane Chase, and that
Ooh.
is Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase. Terry Jean Bolette is Hulk Hogan.
No.
What? Yes.
Oh, dang, yeah, I misread that. Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Jean Bolette?
Yes.
That sounds like a chick.
But I figured Hulk Hogan was like a stage name.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
Peter
whose name is
Jean
Hulk?
Hernandez is Bruno Mars.
Interesting. Then we got
Steveland
Judkins.
Judkins.
Was Stevie Wonder.
Hmm.
Or that's funny. So like Stevie Wonder, that's Steveland. That's funny. We got Christina Claire Simonella. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that, but Judd, or let's see.
She's Winona Judd from the Judds.
Oh, yeah. And then we got
Audrey Faith Perry is Faith Hill.
interesting. And then we got Gary LeVox sounds.
It's
a little
Gary
less-
Vernon.
And they switched it to Gary LeVox.
Yes.
Interesting. I
And I think
about
that's
a lot of
10.
things. Yeah. There's a lot of other ones in here too. Oh wait, hang on. Elton John's original name was Reginald Kenneth Dwight. Calvin Harris was Adam Richards Wilds.
John Legend was John Roger Steffens.
Bob Dylan was Robert Allen Zimmerman. Zimmerman! Oh, dude, no, there's some good ones in here though.
Hugh Anthony Craig was Huey Lewis from
Really?
Huey Lewis and the News.
Huh. Kanye Twitty was Harold Lloyd Jenkins.
Conway Twitty was Harold Lloyd Jenkins. I think I knew that because I remember the name Harold Lloyd Jenkins.
I'm not sure. Let's see. Nelly was Cornell Irol Haynes Jr. Demi Moore was Demetria Jean Guy.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Robert James Ritchie was Kid Rock.
No, it's Kid Rock, according to the. But
Well, no, it's just Kid Rock. But every time you listen to his songs, it's like it's Kid Rock.
Yeah.
But
Either way, though, Kid Rock's got some good music too.
Anyway.
Actually, a lot of the artists in here have good music.
we ended up going to 22. But some of these are weird, like Faith Hill. I thought that I didn't like Jason. You've got Tim McGraw, Jason Aldean. I mean, you go way back to like Huey Lewis and the News.
Right.
Like those were some people that you didn't even think would change their name. Although
Definitely not. I didn't really expect it.
you look at their original names and
Well, the thing is, a lot of the people who do the aliases are they pick a name that's so smooth, you know, like it could totally pass as a normal name.
well, it's kind of like when you go to the circus, the names they use during their act aren't their actual names.
Right. It's like a stage name.
Well, remember how I told you that the gentleman that was the ringleader and his kids were at the circus?
Yeah.
His daughter goes by her first real name, but they change their last name. Or they'll use their first name and then they'll change, or they just won't say a last name. They'll say like, there's a guy last year who did the Tiger Act and his name was Bruno. And they called him the Rage in the Cage. That's all he said. So you only know that his first name's Bruno, and that may not even be true.
Right. I'm curious about it. It's like at what point in their career did these celebrities decide to change their name to
Before they were
celebrities, I suppose.
before they were celebrities. Anyway, so I think that's about wraps it up for me. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, a lot of these names were interesting. I'm looking forward to a lot of the movies coming out this year. I've answered some personal questions for myself today, not just questions for you guys, like using the recognition technology for Carrie Fisher and how they're not going to do it for the Star Wars 9. So I'm not, we'll see what we can expect from that movie in the coming time. a lot of new technology coming up this year. I'm excited to see where that goes. And you know what? It's going to keep going for the next couple years and years and years after that. Technology is constantly improving. So, most we can do is see what's coming up this year and pay attention and keep an eye out for it because we will be seeing a lot of this new stuff, folks, implemented into everyday life. With that, Aaron, do you have anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Once again, like I do every show, I want to say, if you like our show, comment, like us on Facebook. You can always listen to us live every Monday at 6. If not, say that doesn't mesh with your schedule, it is posted on Spreaker.com. It's also posted on my Facebook after we're done doing the show, as well as while we're doing the show. But it seems like my dogs are ready for me to be done. So I think that's pretty much it for me. If you guys haven't liked anything we talk about, didn't like anything we talked about, have any comments,
let us know.
Or anything like that, let us know on our Facebook page. Until next time, I'm Eric Klingsmith.
And I'm Mark Wilson.
Signing off.